How you motivate yourself matters. Are you under the influence of medication or meditation to get yourself motivated to go and achieve your goals and to get things done? And when I talk about medication, I'm not talking about the things that your doctor has prescribed for whatever issues that you and your doctor have looked at. I'm talking about self-medicating, where you numb yourself or really zap yourself and drink Red Bulls and NOS and 5-hour energies and things in order to just barely get by, to mask the underlying issues. Or instead of relying on these chemical stimulants or chemical numbing, nootropics, etc., are you relying on your own homegrown inner strength, your inner willpower, and being able to determine it, the ability to take care of your mental health to motivate yourself? Absolutely. Different substances and medications can be helpful and supportive, but let's talk about raising an awareness of dependency on substances in order to just be yourself. What do you need in order to be yourself? Medication or meditation? Let's talk about it. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield. This is your business energy flow forecast from my beautiful dojo here in New Jersey. Let's see all of the beautiful fall foliage in the background or here in the atrium, so that you can just take in some of that beautiful grounding energy. We need more nature vibes right now so we're connected to the earth. It's my joy to help impact-driven entrepreneurs and leaders like you get and stay grounded and clear in mind, body, and business. This is all about increasing your energy levels so that you can increase your income and impact. Yes. So if you like that, make sure you like this video, tell the algorithm that this was valuable or you're enjoying it, and hit subscribe on YouTube or join the email list so that you get these messages first. I record these every week. Well, I record them in bulk and release them every week so that you can set your mindset right at the beginning of the day, before you go to work, right during your miracle morning journaling time, right, your morning manifesting, your morning self-motivation, something to listen to and follow around to set your mindset right so that you're getting off on the right foot to stay on track. And this is the third installment of a 4-week sprint looking at how we overcomplicate and overthink things. And that's the problem that knocks us off of staying on track in hitting our goals, serving the people that we're called to. And today in particular, my spirit guides told me to encourage you to take a look at how do you motivate yourself? Are you relying on medication or are you relying on meditation to motivate yourself? And what this really comes down to is internal versus external motivating, internal versus external orientation. Are you able to reference internally your own inner well of well-being 24/7, 365, whether you got the money for it or not, right? Are you able to tap into that inner well of well-being at any time, such as with medication? Or do you have to externally go to a source of support that is not inside of you? You have to depend on something outside of your own control, outside of your own mind and body, in order to add that in so that you can be yourself, so that you can operate at your highest functions. Are you internally or externally referenced? Because when we're able to do meditation on a regular basis, that means we are able to reference our internal power, right? And have that strength come from within so that it's with us no matter what. Whereas when we're relying on medicating, and again, I'm not talking about what comes from your doctor, I'm talking about self-medicating. I'm going to define that in a second. When we rely on medicating in order to get motivated, what happens when the medication runs out? Are you still able to be yourself? So let's define what would look like self-medicating in order to operate at optimal levels. Coffee, drinking coffee, get that caffeine kick, right? You gotta get the cup of coffee. It's not inside you, right? Or any form of energy drinks, pills, shots, etc. Oils, essential oils, and all of the different additives and things that stimulate you in order to get you going. This can also fall into, oh my goodness, smoking, right? Any form of smoking, any form of drug, or also alcohol use of, all right, I gotta have my liquid courage in order to call that client or go into that meeting. I gotta make sure I take a few tokes before I talk to him, because who knows what's gonna happen. I wanna make sure that I am high and dry, that no one can touch me. Or different pills such as adderall, right? Or Zoloft, right? Any of the, taking them outside of a prescripted environment, because and this of course includes cocaine, all of the things that we do to check out so that we can be more than what we think we are. Be someone else in order to be interesting, right? If you take a hit of Molly, pop a Molly or something like that, or get some X, all of a sudden you have all this energy and all of this excitement. But who are you without the self-medicating? What happens? What if that runs out? Let alone supply chain disruption, but also your ability to even tolerate, right? There's only so much heroin, right? The human body can tolerate before it just rejects life. I've known people who've passed away from overdose. Be kind to yourself if you do too. I want to bring this forward. How are we self-medicating? Just for today, kyo dakeba, as we say in Reiki, focusing on how am I self-medicating, as in adding, because I am not enough. That's how we're going to define self-medication. This is not to do with an actual medical diagnosis or anything between you and your doctor, your prescriptions. This is for those of us who take the nootropic supplements because I gotta focus, right? Or who cannot start the day without caffeine because you run on Dunkin' or whatever. Be kind to yourself. We're not demonizing it. I just want to raise awareness of adding something because you fundamentally believe that you are not enough on your own. And that meditation, as opposed to medication, is an opportunity to motivate yourself from the inside out, and also figure out from the inside out, feel it, practice it, understand exactly just how you are enough, always, no matter what is happening. What's beautiful about having a meditation practice instead of that numbing or overstimulating, right, that adding extra self-medicating practice, meditation trains you to feel worthy and confident, resilient in an unconditional way. It feeds your soul when you do it right. Not just going through the motions, following the steps in some course or whatever, but instead really allowing yourself to heal so that your mental health improves. Be kind to yourself if this is something that maybe we haven't really talked about or you haven't really considered before. Medicating, self-medicating, is escaping the big problem, avoiding the issue that needs to be dealt with at hand within you, whatever it may be. And I'm sending you grace and love if that's the situation, not calling you out or being like, you're doing it wrong. I self-medicate as well. I do it a lot with sweets and food. Hello, right? I'm an emotional eater. Shout out to all my emotional eaters out there. And I do have to take energy drinks and things at times. Absolutely. And that's a sign to me, I understand now, that I am not getting the right level of nourishment and support that I need for what I've set out to do. I'm just accepting that, let me push through. I'm not enough. I need something. If that's you, I'm sending you so much love, and that's why we're going to now turn to science, history, and spirit for support in looking at, well, how can we start to motivate ourselves in healthier ways? Because that self-medicating habit is a form of toxic self-care. It's negative self-care where we can get addicted to the adderall, addicted to the cigarettes. I used to be a smoker, addicted to, right, the sweets and the foods and the coffee and the alcohol and the drugs, etc. We can get addicted to the things that we self-medicate, right, with. And we instead want to be liberated from the enslavement of addiction and have that freedom of mind, body, and soul that comes with a beautiful regular meditation practice. Is this making sense? Comment below if this resonates. I want to hear from you. What's coming up for you hearing all this? With that, let's turn to science. I have my lovely article printout from Harvard. This is a Harvard study. Clearing your mind affects your genes. The genes in your body, not your jeans as your pants. Jeans with a G. Affects your genes and can lower your blood pressure. Let's read. Harvard scientists have come up with evidence that the mere act of clearing your mind for 15 minutes each day actually alters how your genes operate. A new study indicates that people who meditated over an 8-week period had a striking change in the expression of 172 genes that regulate inflammation, circadian rhythms, and glucose metabolism. And that in turn was linked to a meaningful decrease in their blood pressure. This, quote, this is a major step to overcome the innate bias that has been developed in medicine over the last 100 years or so, end quote, says Dr. Herbert Benson, who started promoting what he called the relaxation response more than 4 decades ago. Going back, he says, going back to penicillin in the 1920s, we have been inexorably dependent on medication, surgery, and procedures. Pause. When we're talking about medication versus meditation, we're looking for, okay, I need to relax so that I can. I need some energy so that I can, right? And so Dr. Benson here is bringing up, he coined the term, the relaxation response. How do we get relaxation? Only from medication? Or are there other ways? Unpause. In the face of often withering criticism from his Harvard colleagues, Benson has insisted that the mind plays a critical role in the body's health and disease states. He says that a simple intervention aimed at emptying the mind of the constant barrage of intrusive thoughts can achieve major benefits for the body. Quote, breaking the train of everyday thought has a medical application that has to be integrated with our marvelous drugs and surgeries. I repeat, Dr. Benson says, breaking the train of everyday thought has a medical application that has to be integrated with all of our marvelous drugs and surgeries. Pause. So you're saying the reason why we're not able to relax is a train of thought. It's not because I didn't have my shot yet. It's I can't relax because there's thoughts that I keep thinking. This is the underlying issue. It's not that you didn't get your drink at the bar yet. It's not that you didn't get your coffee yet. It's not that you didn't take your adderall yet. It's because of thoughts, a train of everyday thought, and the train is just running off the tracks, running off the rails, and we're not doing anything about it. We're just gonna be like, oh yeah, the train's off the rails. Bye, right? And just avoiding the disaster. Unpause. His goal is to establish the relaxation response and other techniques that calm the brain, such as yoga, tai chi, breathing exercises, repetitive prayer, and other meditative practices as a third leg of medical treatment, along with medication and surgical procedures. The time may be right to push this idea forward because recently the American College of Cardiology and the American Heart Association expanded the definition of high blood pressure, raising the number of people who are considered hypertensive from 72 million to 103 million. This is in America. So that's nearly half of all adult Americans have heart issues, for example. There are as many as 200 anti-hypertension medications and drug combinations, but many of those carry troublesome side effects that make it hard for patients to take their pills faithfully. Meditation, on the other hand, is trouble-free other than the daily time commitment, right? 15 minutes that it takes. And so in the study, they go on to say that the researchers that he led measured whether patients' blood pressure dropped by at least 10 points, the systolic or higher value when the heart contracts, and at least 5 points, the diastolic or between beats value, and whether their blood pressure was within the desirable range of 140/90. And the results were a little over half of the patients achieved these criteria. Blood samples from both groups of who responded and who didn't respond to the meditation, right? Who did achieve the relaxation response. They had different genetic signatures among the responders. That is 172 different genes associated with inflammation, circadian rhythms, and glucose metabolism were either switched on or switched off in ways that were different from the non-responders. Tying this back to medication versus meditation. It's so interesting that we have the opportunity to turn on and turn off our inflammation, our glucose, our sugar issues, as well as circadian rhythm, to turn on or off our awakeness or exhaustion. If it would just take 15 minutes, as opposed to, the second it takes to pop the pill. So it's 15 minutes invested on the front end versus 15 minutes invested on the front end with no repercussions, no side effects, no nothing, versus, just the seconds that it takes to drink the shot, toke the weed, right, to take the pill, whatever. And then all of the side effects, let alone the hangover and all of the secondary repercussions because you've been exposed to the substance. I digress. How you motivate yourself matters. If you take 15 minutes in a clean way to get yourself motivated today, you'll be able to just go. No roadblocks. Whereas if you go for the self-medicating, right, the self-numbing or overstimulating, right, substances, it may take a second right now, but you will have roadblocks for the rest of the day, right? The midday slump, the jitters, the insomnia, the testiness, the anxiety of, or the stomach troubles, headaches, etc., all the things, the repercussions, the hangovers that come down the line. Do you want to be able to just get yourself motivated and perform, or do you want to switch on but then have a bumpy, turbulent ride afterward? What would be more efficient? Let's go to history. Of course, we're on Think and Grow Rich, the chapter on autosuggestion. And this quote is about the secret of mental power, where it comes from, according to Napoleon Hill. This book is such a classic. If you haven't gotten it yet, oh my goodness, what are you waiting for? This is like such powerful reading every single day. Highly recommend. Life-changing. So I know you may be skeptical of the power of 15 minutes of like breathing, meditation, or you may have already drunk the meditation Kool-Aid. You're like, absolutely, Victoria, 100%, blah, 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 blah. And you're not even a medication or meditation. You're a medication and meditation person. Oh, yeah. No, I'm coming right for you. You're not going to get away from me. Tap it in the comments if that's you. Are you a both and, or you're a either or? We got to go even more clean because you've got things to do, places to go, people to see, money to make, right? Booty to shake. You've got things to do, and you need to be your whole self, not half. We want you to throw your whole ass into it, not half actions. We want your whole, not half. Okay? With that, for those who may be skeptical about like, oh, meditation can't really help me with all of that, this is what Napoleon Hill has to say. Skepticism, in connection with all new ideas, is characteristic of all human beings. Okay? But if you follow the instructions outlined in this book, in this video, in our online platform on school, skepticism will soon be replaced by belief. And this in turn will soon become crystallized into absolute faith. But I repeat, it only happens if you follow the instructions outlined. You don't just hear them, you do them. It's one thing for us to do. You sit, listen to the videos, it's great, hanging out, drinking coffee, getting high, and be like, oh my God, Victoria, I'm so wasted. I love you, and we gotta do the work. It's not meditation and medications, meditation or. Many philosophers have made the statement that man is the master of his own earthly destiny, but most of them have failed to say why he is the master. Who's the master? Show enough. Shout out to those of you who know what I'm referring to. What movie quote was that? Unpause. The reason that man may be the master of his own earthly status, and especially his financial status, we're talking about thinking and growing rich here, is thoroughly explained in this chapter on autosuggestion. Auto, self-suggestion, influence yourself, right? Man may become the master of himself and his environment because he has the power to influence his own subconscious mind, right? The actual performance of transmuting desire into money in hand, right, involves the use of autosuggestion as an agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind, right? So relating this back to medication or meditation, you can influence yourself. Don't be lazy about it, though. If you do the work, and it's 15 minutes max a day of exercising your mind to be motivated, exercising your mind. I define meditation personally as the exercise of practicing relaxed focus. The exercise of practicing relaxed focus. That's what meditation is. So is it, yoga twisting yourself into a pretzel upside down and backwards? Could be for some people, but for others, it might just be walking in nature for 15 minutes, but with intention, not while smoking, right? But it's just to be present, walking in nature with intent to have relaxed focus. I want to clear my mind. That's why I'm walking out in nature. This is my meditation. This is my sacred time. This is me to connect with myself as a natural human being. Anything done meditatively is meditation. I want to encourage you, though, to not pair meditation with medication, because you are enough. You can influence yourself, as Napoleon Hill was talking about. You have the ability to do it without substances. I believe in you, and I want to bring this forward to you because how you motivate yourself matters. Why? Again, when you choose meditation to motivate yourself, 15 minutes, and then you can just go. No roadblocks, no exhaustion, no hangover, no nothing, no rashes and reactions. I don't know what you're doing to meditate, but hopefully, right? Whereas usually when you add the substances, there's the repercussions. You take it and then you have the turbulent ride. Conserve your energy of performance by choosing meditation to motivate yourself today, instead of that self-medicating that you're doing. Going over to Spirit now, the card that I pulled is an affirmation upright, the Chariot. The Chariot, Archangel Metatron, number 7 in the major arcana. 7 has to do with research, learning, understanding, going down rabbit holes, education, right? This may be an education gap for you. Like, well, everybody else is doing it. I don't know how to meditate. Everyone else that I know, in order to get started the day, we always start with coffee. How on earth? I don't even know how to meditate to get energized at the beginning of the day. 7, educate yourself. Educate yourself. It's out there. It really is. Reading. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. I'm just going to drop a pin in the fact that the Spirit just brought in public recognition. I'm not even going to drop a pin. You are entering a time, and you have an opportunity to be publicly recognized, to enlarge your territory of support, dominance, to increase your leads dramatically, to speak and influence the masses, to make positive change. Do you really want to do that as you, yourself? Clean, clear, organic, free-range you? Or how would you feel if your followers saw you engaging in your dirty little secret? How would you feel if you got found out of how you self-medicate? Is that something that you're worried about being found out about? You don't want people to see. of like, oh, no. Like, I'll do a line of coke in the bathroom. I don't want my family to know. I don't want anybody to know, right? I'm contributing in the community. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a healer. Like this, that, and I'm an athlete. I'm out here doing God's work. But no, don't follow me into this bathroom stall right quick. I'm sending you so much love if this is your situation. I'm not saying this to shame at all. I'm not saying, especially as someone who understands sobriety very intimately. I'm sending you so much love. This is not easy. This is a tall order. And meditation, it's okay for you to get found out that you do that. I mean, in some circles, like me, they may call you like worshiping the devil, even though like I believe in Jesus. I believe in a higher power. I am so grateful that to be saved as well as spiritual and channeling and enlightened, but to each their own. I'm okay being found out about that. Come out spiritual closet any day, all day, eat it. Whereas the self-medicating side, it's a source of shame, frustration, because again, it comes from the core belief of, without this, I am not enough. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Unpause. Congratulations. This card means you've successfully balanced a recently challenging situation. Your ability to see both sides, take action, and make decisions has garnered you approval, respect, and gratitude. So bask in the joy of that which you have accomplished, right? The Chariot is you're moving right along. Warp speed. Stay calm and grounded and be clear about what you're trying to achieve. It's important to show self-control, determination, and the willingness to go the distance at this time. Exercise control firmly but kindly with other people. Additional meaning of this card: self-discipline, sheer willpower, a great leap forward, a promotion or award, travel, modes of transportation. Tying this back to medication or meditation, it is essential for you to not have the turbulence of that inner shame as you go forward. We want all brakes off, all systems go, all ascension ready. We are free and cleared to fly and soar. And today, Kyo Dakewa, just for today, may be the day that it's time for you to let go of any toxins that you're putting into your body, any of those practices that are affirming that you are not enough, because that is a lie. You are enough. How you motivate yourself matters. We want to release that story of I am not enough, and this is the way to do it. So the action step of the day, as always, is a strategic meditation to help you with this practice. My spirit guides told me to recommend Open Up Your School app. By the way, click the link in the description if you haven't, or in the email if you haven't yet. Join us on our online community for school so that you can do the meditation of the day every day this week. It's 14 minutes. Type in the search bar on school, muscle melt meditation, muscle melt meditation. It's in the physical healing meditations section of our vault of visualizations in our online community. And my spirit guides told me to pick that meditation for this week in particular, especially around releasing pain, tension, and stress in the body, around that motivating you to self-medicate. If you're trying to mask the pain and discomfort in your body, it may be because you haven't taken time to calm down and practice your relaxation response, like Dr. Benson, the Harvard professor that we read his article earlier about. You haven't taken the time to do the relaxation response first. So do that 14-minute muscle melt meditation every day this week and see the difference in how you feel in body, mind, and business. Now, we've come to the end of this week's message, and you're like, okay, Victoria, that was great. And I'm more confused. I have a million billion different questions, or I have a story that I want to tell, or you also, maybe you have grievances to air of like, no, Victoria, I am different. My situation with self-medicating and meditation, the two have to go together. Like, I have to take psychedelics in order to meditate, or no, I have to smoke, or I have to take my caffeine. I want to talk to you about this. Reach out, hop on my calendar, victoriawhitfield.com/contact, or click the link in the description. You can even go to talkwithvictoria.com. That'll also, all of the above, takes you to my calendar. I want to talk to you. I want to hear what's your story, or any questions that you have about how to get started with a strategic meditation practice so that you are performing at optimal levels from the inside out. With that, mwah, big hugs and love. Remember, you do not have to lose your glow as you grow in life and business. Sending you so much love, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.